Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. ZSHPlays here, and welcome back to Celestial Cove. So you're probably looking at this entrance now thinking that it looks a little bit different to last time. So I did use a couple of these kind of blueprints that we've got on the side, but then I decided to make this little hotel in the middle. And I've changed up the kind of layout of this Celestial Avenue, which we'll get into a little bit later on. So this is going to be more of like a chilled out vibe throughout the park. Obviously we've gone with like the Mediterranean biome, so I think to have this kind of entrance, I'm going to add some kind of like gift shops. This bit here is actually a work in progress, but the hotel is pretty much done. I wanted it to look quite modern, have some balconies and stuff. I know obviously the lower level of the balconies aren't got a very good view, but it works for now. And then obviously the Celestial Avenue signs there, they've got like the corkscrews from the looping coaster, so that's the Vekoma one. And then I just really wanted the vibe for this area just be really chilled, loads of plants, loads of rocks. Like I say, I'm going to come back and do this bit later on, because obviously I need to kind of figure out what else I'm going to put in here. But because we haven't got a pirate theme in game, I've had to kind of improvise and create this area. So this is called Buccaneers Cove. And at the minute we've got a Mack water coaster, we've got one of the tiny eyes, which is like the little kind of Ferris wheel. We've got a Teacups, which I've modified, which we'll go through. And then I've got a pirate ship, and then I've got the two-seater inverted coaster. So we'll just have like a little explore around the area, because like I say, this has changed a lot. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, I've got it down as Celestial Cove New, because the layout before was a little bit different. So this is Cannonball, this is the tiny eye model from the game. So I've just used a couple of the Viking pieces, just rethemed them just to get it as close to the pirate theme as I can. And then whilst I was doing this, I found the most energetic and coolest member of staff. So yeah, he definitely loves his job, which is good. So we're going to rename him Mr. Happy. It seems to fit him, because he's very enthusiastic. Still clapping away, look at him. He's having a whale of a time. And then let's hop over to the rest of the Plaza area. So I got these little cannonball, or these cannons, sorry, from the workshop. I think they're pretty cool. They're just using a couple of the wood pieces and a couple of the art pieces, I believe. And then I've also made my own kind of like, I'm not too sure what you call these, kind of like shade cover things. I'm not sure, I just kind of went with a load of different items and just put them all together. But I can also upload them onto the workshop if needed. And then this is the Mack water coaster I was on about. So this is called Odyssey. Kind of themed it as best as I can to like pirate theming and stuff, but like I say, we haven't got pirate theming in game, so it's quite hard to get the exact thing that you're looking for. But I've tried my absolute best just to make it look as like piratey as possible. So I'll just be quiet while we go through the POV, and then I'll come back at the end. Okay, and that is Odyssey, so I'm quite happy with that one. The only thing I really struggled with was the splashdown areas, because they've got a certain angle where you come out, so you kind of have to build the splashdown first and then kind of delete the track up to it and then try and get the angle as best as possible. But I found with the height that I've got here, they were hitting the splashdown way too hard, so I've had to add some trim brakes just coming down, just to get it down to more of like a realistic speed, just so the guests aren't going to absolutely fly out of their seats when they go through the splashdown or something. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. It's kind of like a shipwreck. I've added a couple of the Viking boat pieces that you can see around there. And I really love this kind of like helix around the rocks and stuff, because you get quite close there, which is pretty cool. And then I did have a little pirate ship in the background here, but I've taken it out because it was a little bit too much. So I just opted for some more like broken boats and just some kind of little rowing boats. But I think the area itself looks pretty cool. And then on to my first custom flat ride. So believe it or not, this is the Teacups, which I've managed to completely reskin into like a barrel. So if you've been to Alton Towers before, it's, I don't remember what it's called, something barrels, obviously clues in the name, but I'll pop a little picture up here of what it looks like as well. But I kind of took inspiration from that. Obviously the building's kind of similar, but on this one you kind of sit in your own little barrel and rotate around the big barrel in the middle. So obviously I couldn't get rid of the teacups because they're already there, you can't get rid of them unfortunately. But I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like one of them, I think it's called like a tanken or something, you know, like the old Viking kind of cups or pirate kind of cups or something. And then I just added a couple of wood pieces onto the roof just to give it that additional theming. And then just got a little toilet block here, and then we've got like a little dock area here. I was going to add like a tiny little pirate ship here, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. And then we'll come over to that inverted coaster shortly. And then we've got a very lightly themed pirate ship here called Sea Bounty. So I've tried to theme it as best as possible. I'm still unsure about that sail in the middle. I don't know if I like it, but I think it looks okay for now. And another thing as well, the ride sounds on this game is so loud. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but every time I play and I have to literally pause it because it's so loud. I'll need to look in my settings really to see if there's anywhere I can turn it around. And then just like blank area there just off for future kind of developments. And then on to the two-seater. So this is Voyager. This is using the Boa, I think it's called, or is that Planet Coaster one? I can't remember. But we'll just hop into POV and I'll be quiet for this and then we'll come back at the end. Okay, so quite a nice short and snappy circuit. It's got 3 inversions, 1 vertical loop and 2 corkscrews. Had to add a couple of trim brakes throughout this layout because after the first loop and the first corkscrew, I've added trim brakes there because it was just flying over that corkscrew and it was so fast. So I've just kind of slowed it down a bit. It's still quite quick through there, but I've just slowed it down to more of like a realistic point, just so the guests aren't literally dying going through that corkscrew. I have also added a maintenance track to this ride. I know they're not functional in game, but just wanted to add it because I think they look quite cool. And then I've just added the steel bars. I'll go through that in a second, but just a quick run through. It's nice and smooth on that last bit as well. So I'm really happy with how this island turned out. I've still got to theme up the station a little bit. I don't know whether just to leave it blank or to theme it up a little bit more, but I think there's quite a lot of theming throughout this ride. It's nice and compact. I was going to add the pirate ship on here, but then I was like, there's enough space for a coaster and I can make it work, so I did that. But this is the maintenance track I was on about, so you'd kind of picture it, so the track at the front would kind of slide over and then you'd reverse the car back into that if they needed to do any work on it. It's quite common around the world on coasters and stuff, you will see that. They're mostly hidden most of the time, but sometimes when you go past like on the brake run or something, you will see like the little maintenance sheds, which is cool. So we'll just kind of follow the car around. So that's the second corkscrew. And it just goes out to like this bank turn over the first drop in the path, and then it's just nice and slow over to the brake runs, and then the brake run will catch it from there. So I think Voyager is a pretty cool name for that. If you've got any other name suggestions for any of these rides, I still need one for the barrel ride because I'm not sure what to call it yet. I was going to call it Drunken Barrels, but I think I don't know if that works or not. I was going to have that kind of hut themed as like a tavern or something. I don't know if that works, but let me know below. If you have enjoyed this episode of Celestial Cove, let me know down below. Drop a like and a comment, and also subscribe. I've got a couple more, well, I've got quite a lot of Celestial Cove coming out. I'm going to do some other Planet Coaster 2 videos as well, and then I'm also doing Project Viking with Plastic Swans and MrsTeaRex, so I will catch you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye bye.